Namaskar and welcome back to the Vedium Healthcare channel. In today's video, we'll be looking into how to make a deeper and more effective connection and relationship with our children. Without any further ado, let's get started. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Chintamani Bhattacharya, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with me. So how to relate to your child is a huge topic in itself, and one that we have taken very seriously. We have broken basic concepts of building a better relationship with our daughter into three basic perspectives. I use the term perspective because the perspective, or the angle that we interact with our children, or by the way, each other as adults as well, is vital in teaching our children how to interact with others. The three concepts or perspectives are talking at, talking to, and talking with your child. I started with the concept of talking to your child because that is the most impersonal. We talk to our child when we're in their chastising mode. So say if you've asked your child to write something on the sunlight and they haven't done it, so you'd be chastising them at that point. It is a mode of almost like scalding your child, and it can be very intimidating for your child to be spoken to in that manner. Picture yourself being talked to in that way by a boss or a friend, and you'll get a better picture of what that is like. Then there's the talking at your child, which is also quite impersonal. When we talk at our children, it is like we're delivering a lecture to them, and most of the time they cannot relate to being talked at, and so they disconnect and all they hear is blah blah blah. It is as if the child is not there, and we go into a lecturing mode that does not take into consideration the child or the child's attentiveness to what you're saying or explaining. And then there's the talking with your child, which is not only the nicest, but also is the most effective way to teach your child. Remember, most of your adult life is, or should be, filled with talking with your family, relatives, friends, and work fellows. Now, of course, in order to talk with your child in a parent or a teacher role, may be difficult if you do not have that relationship established with your child. So your child didn't finish what they were asked to do. So you get involved and you just help them take it further. I'm of course not saying that you cannot talk to or talk at your child. Of course there are times when that is called for, especially when we need to correct them about their attitude or behavior or stop them from doing something dangerous. But we do have to always make sure that we follow that up with explaining why what they're doing is inappropriate or could be dangerous. As far as the talking at your child, or the didactic approach of teaching your child, that may be utilized when your child is in their teens and they need to be taught how to take notes or test their comprehension. Say if you're explaining to your child how the sunlight activates the photosynthesis in a plant. We always have to remember that children are individuals and they need to be treated as such. And the talking with your child makes sure that your child is treated as an individual. Children are, after all, adults in the making, and they need to be treated with respect as individuals in their own right. And so we need to make sure that we do not take away that right for them to be treated as such by talking at them too much, and that we balance the talking to with the explanation of what we're trying to explain or teach them. So we have to look at why we are pushing a certain point on our kids, and we have to make sure that it is actually in their best interest, and then we explain that to them. So say whenever we do have an altercation with Radha where we have to correct her with her attitude or her behavior, you do have to deal with it in the heat of the moment, and in order to get through to them sometimes you do have to raise your voice and pretend to be angry. But when you ask Radha whether she thinks that we are actually angry at her when we're correcting her, she knows that we're not, and we're only being firm and trying to get through to her at that point in time so that she stops and listens. And then following up with that, we always sit down quietly and explain to her exactly how the situation went down and how she could have handled it better and why we had to respond the way that we did. So again, it is all about talking with your child, because they do actually understand a lot more than we give them credit for. In this way, we can make sure that our children can actually grow up to be the great adults that we want them to be. So please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions with regards to any of the topics that I've covered here today. If you have liked this video, then please do let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and make sure to click the notification bell so that you're always notified whenever we post a new video. With all of that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Namaskar.